She said, "Real men don't cry," when my childhood dog died. I said nothing, just sent her stuff to her mom's with a note. Real women have empathy. Her 50-plus text calling me sensitive proved my point. Original post. I, 32 male, got the call from my mom Tuesday morning. Duke, my golden retriever who'd been with my family since I was 17, had to be put down. Kidney failure. He was 15, had a good run, but that didn't make it easier. Duke wasn't just a pet. He was there through my parents' divorce, my college years when I'd visit home just to see him, my first job rejection letters. When I was 22 and thought about dropping out of engineering school, Duke was the one who sat with me all night while I figured things out. My girlfriend, Brittany, 29, and I have been together 2 years, living together for 6 months in my condo. When I got off the phone with my mom, I was sitting on the couch just processing. Tears were coming. Not sobbing, just quiet tears for an old friend. Brittany walked in from the bedroom, saw me, crying. "What's wrong?" "Duke died." My mom just called. She rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. "Seriously? You're crying over a dog?" Real men don't cry, especially not over some animal that probably didn't even remember you. I looked at her, really looked at her. Something inside me just switched off. He was 15. I've known him since I was 17. So? It's a dog, Ryan. Get over it. This is honestly embarrassing. What if someone saw you like this? I didn't respond. Just got up, walked to my bedroom, and closed the door. I could hear her laughing on the phone with her friend Kelsey, saying something about how I was having a moment over a mutt. That's when I made my decision. Update 1. I took Wednesday off work. Told my boss I needed a personal day. He understood. Brittany left for work at 8 a.m., making snide comments about hoping I'd manned up by the time she got home. The moment her car left the parking garage, I got to work. I called my buddy Derek, who owns a moving company. Explained the situation. "She really said that about Duke?" "Bro, I remember Duke. That dog was legendary." "Yeah. Can you have a crew here in an hour?" "For you?" 30 minutes. While waiting, I methodically went through the apartment. Everything that was hers, clothes, makeup, her Peloton, that she used maybe twice, her collection of self-help books about manifesting your best life, the expensive coffee machine she had to have, all of it. I even found a jewelry box I'd given her for our anniversary. Took the jewelry out. Gifts are gifts, but packed the box. The crew arrived. 3 guys who were incredibly efficient. I had them load everything into their truck. "Where to?" Derek asked. "Her mother's house. I have the address." Now, here's the thing about Brittany's mom, Carol. She lives 40 minutes away and has been pushing Brittany to move back home because she's been struggling with empty nest syndrome since Brittany's brother moved across the country. I wrote a simple note on my personal stationery. "Carol, Brittany's belongings. She needs a place to stay. When someone loses a family member, yes, dogs are family. Real women show empathy. Your daughter showed me who she really is." Ryan, I had Derek's crew unload everything on Carol's front lawn. Nice suburban neighborhood. Very visible. Then I texted Carol, "Brittany's stuff is outside your house. She'll need to stay with you. We're done." Blocked Brittany's number immediately after. 20 minutes later, the building's front desk called. Brittany was in the lobby. Her key fob wasn't working. "Ms. Harrison is here to see you, Mr. Mitchell. She doesn't live here anymore. Please have security escort her out." "Understood, sir." The beauty of owning your condo. You make the rules. Update 2. The meltdown began around 2 p.m. Since I'd blocked her number, Brittany started emailing. The subject lines alone were a journey. "What the hell? This is illegal. You can't just kick me out. Over a dog? I'm calling the police. You're insane. This is emotional abuse." I didn't read them. Just filter them straight to a folder labeled evidence in case I needed it later. Carol called my office. Our receptionist, Gloria, absolute legend, handled it. "I'm sorry, Mr. Mitchell is unavailable. Would you like to leave a message? This is regarding my daughter's illegal eviction." "Ma'am, Mr. Mitchell owns his residence. There was no lease agreement. Your daughter was a guest. Have a nice day." Gloria came by my office later. "Your ex's mom sounds delightful. Apple tree, all that." By 4 p.m., Brittany had recruited her friends. My phone, she didn't have my new work cell, started blowing up from unknown numbers. I answered one just for entertainment. "Ryan?" This is Kelsey. What you're doing to Brittany is seriously messed up. Kelsey, she mocked me for grieving my dog who just died. What's messed up is staying with someone who has zero empathy. It's just a dog, and she's just an ex-girlfriend. Goodbye. The best part? Brittany's Instagram story. She tried to spin it. When toxic masculinity can't handle being called out for weakness. Single and thriving. Flex biceps. My sister saw it and responded publicly. Weakness? He cried because his childhood dog died and you mock him for it. That's not toxic masculinity. That's called having feelings. You're single because you're heartless. The story was deleted within an hour. Update 3. Thursday morning brought the police. 2 officers showed up at my door at 7 a.m. Mr. Mitchell, we're responding to a domestic situation. Ms. Harrison claims you've illegally evicted her and stolen her property. I invited them in, offered coffee, they declined, and explained the situation calmly. Officers, Ms. Harrison was a guest in my home. No lease, no rent payments, no tenant rights. She mocked me for grieving my deceased dog, so I ended the relationship and asked her to leave. All her belongings were delivered to her mother's house yesterday. I have documentation from the moving company. I showed them. The deed to my condo, solely in my name. The moving company receipt. Photos Derek had thoughtfully taken of everything being delivered intact. Screenshots of her texts mocking me about Duke. I'd grabbed them before blocking her. The older officer read the texts, shook his head. Your childhood dog died, and she said this. Yes, sir. 15 years I had that dog. The younger officer actually looked disgusted. My German Shepherd is 13. I'd be devastated. There's no crime here, the older officer concluded. Ms. Harrison has her property. This is a civil matter at best, but honestly, she has no case. Sorry for your loss, Mr. Mitchell. About the dog, after they left, I unblocked Brittany long enough to send one text. The police just left. Stop harassing me or I'll file a restraining order. Your stuff is at your mom's. We're done. Don't contact me again. Then blocked her again. But Brittany wasn't done. Oh no, she was just getting started. Update 4. Friday. She tried to hit me where she thought it would hurt professionally. Brittany works in pharmaceutical sales, but she knows people. She had her friend Madison, who works at a competing engineering firm, call my company's HR department. I'm calling to verify employment for Ryan Mitchell. We've received some concerning information about his mental stability and violent behavior towards women. Here, that's the thing about my company. We're a defense contractor. Every call like this gets documented, investigated, and taken seriously. But also means they dig deep. HR called me in. Janet, our HR director, looked amused more than concerned. Ryan, we received a rather interesting call about your mental stability and violent behavior. Want to tell me what's going on? I explained everything. Showed her the texts, the police report. They'd given me a copy stating no crime had been committed, and the moving company documentation. Janet leaned back. So your ex is harassing you because you broke up with her after she mocked your dead dog? That's the summary, yes. And she's now trying to interfere with your employment? Appears so. Janet smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Ryan, this constitutes harassment and potential defamation. We take attempts to damage our employees' careers very seriously. Legal will handle this. By end of day, Madison's company received a cease and desist letter. Madison was apparently suspended pending investigation. Brittany's brilliant plan had just gotten her friend in serious professional trouble. But the real kicker came Saturday. Brittany showed up at my building with a U-Haul, demanding her furniture. Not her furniture, the furniture. The stuff she'd picked out, but I'd paid for. The $3,000 sectional, the dining set, the bedroom furniture. Security called me. I came down, but stayed in the lobby, visible through the glass doors, but not engaging. Sir, Ms. Harrison says she has receipts for furniture. She has pictures from furniture stores. I have the actual receipts and credit card statements. It's all in my name. Brittany saw me through the doors and lost it, starting screaming about how I was a pathetic, sensitive little boy, and no wonder your dog died. It probably wanted to get away from you. That's when Mr. Peterson, my 70-year-old neighbor, walked in with his wife and their ancient beagle. Young lady, he said in his veteran voice, I knew Duke. Lovely dog. And you're a horrible person. Security, please remove this woman before I call the real police. Security escorted her out. The entire lobby, about a dozen residents, had heard everything. The building's gossip network would handle the rest. Update 5. Sunday brought the social media war. Brittany went nuclear on Facebook. Posted this long, dramatic narrative about emotional abuse, manipulation, and how I'd thrown her onto the streets because she tried to help me be stronger. Ladies, this is what happens when you date a man-child who can't handle constructive criticism. He cried over a dog, and when I tried to help him process his feelings in a healthier way, he made me homeless. Ryan Mitchell is dangerous. My phone started buzzing with notifications. But here's the thing about putting your business on social media. People have receipts. My college roommate, Travis, posted, "Constructive criticism? You told him real men don't cry when his dog died." I've known Ryan for 14 years. Duke was there through everything. You're trash. My sister went harder. Try to help him process? I have screenshots of you calling him pathetic for grieving. You want to talk about dangerous? How about a woman with so little empathy she mocks someone's pain and then plays victim? Then Duke's veterinarian, yes, the actual vet, chimed in. I had to put Duke down last Tuesday. That dog was loved and lived a beautiful life. Anyone who mocks someone for grieving a pet has no soul. Team Ryan. But the kill shot came from an unexpected source. Brittany's own brother, Alex. Britt, you call me laughing about this. You said it was hilarious that he cried. You're not the victim here. You never are. This is why I moved across the country. The post was deleted within hours, but screenshots were everywhere. Carol called me directly. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Ryan, I didn't know about the dog. Brittany said you just kicked her out randomly. Carol, she mocked me hours after Duke died. Hours. I have the texts. Can you send them to me? I did. The response was immediate. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I raised her better than this. At least I thought I did. It's not your fault, Carol. She's staying with me now, acting like the victim. I'm going to have a conversation with her. That's between you and her. I'm done. Understand. And Ryan? I'm sorry about Duke. Losing a pet is losing family. At least someone in that family had empathy. Update 6. Monday, Brittany tried a new tactic, the wellness check. Police showed up at my office. Mr. Mitchell, we're here for a wellness check. Someone reported you're having a mental health crisis and might be a danger to yourself. My boss, who'd been walking by, stopped. Officers, is there a problem? Wellness check, sir. I laughed. Actually laughed. Let me guess, my ex-girlfriend called this in. We can't disclose that, but officers, this is the second time in a week. My ex is harassing me because I broke up with her. I'm fine. Actually better than fine now that she's gone. My boss, legend that he is, added, Ryan's one of our most stable employees. His ex, however, sounds like she needs the wellness check. The officers looked tired. Sir, false wellness checks are a crime. We'll be noting this pattern. That afternoon, our legal department sent Brittany a formal cease and desist. Any further contact, direct or indirect, would result in a restraining order and potential charges for harassment. Tuesday, the flying monkeys arrived. Her mom's book club friend, her cousin, her college roommate, all reaching out with variations of, you need to give her another chance and relationships require forgiveness. I had a standard response. She mocked me for grieving my dead dog. There's nothing to forgive, only behavior to avoid. Most backed off. Her cousin, Melissa, actually apologized. I didn't know about the dog thing. She left that part out. That's awful. My husband cried for weeks when our cat died. That's normal. Wednesday brought the final attempt. Brittany sent a letter, an actual, physical letter to my office. Gloria brought it to me with rubber gloves on, joking, but she did hold it like it might explode. I'm going to share it because it's a masterpiece of delusion. Ryan, I've reflected on our situation and realize you overreacted to a small misunderstanding. Yes, I said men shouldn't cry, but I was trying to help you be stronger. Society judges weak men, and I was protecting you. Duke was old and suffering. His death was a blessing. You should be happy he's at peace, not crying like a child. I'm willing to forgive you for the embarrassment you've caused me. My reputation is damaged, my living situation is compromised, and my mental health has suffered from your cruelty. If you apologize publicly, admit you overreacted, and provide me with 3 months of living expenses, I calculate $6,000. We can move forward as friends. This is a generous offer considering the trauma you've inflicted. Brittany, P.S. I know you kept my yoga mat. I want it back. I didn't keep her yoga mat. It went with everything else. I photocopied the letter, sent it to my lawyer, and had him respond. Ms. Harrison, my client rejects your offer. Any further contact will be considered harassment. Your yoga mat was delivered with your other belongings. Do not contact my client again. That's when she made her biggest mistake. Update 7. Thursday, Brittany decided to go after my family. She found my mom's Facebook and sent her a message. Mrs. Mitchell, your son is having a mental breakdown. He's destroyed my life over a dog. Duke wouldn't want this. You need to talk sense into Ryan before he hurts someone else. My mom, the woman who'd held Duke as he was put to sleep. The woman who'd raised that dog from a puppy. Mom didn't respond to Brittany. She did, however, post this on Facebook. To the heartless woman who just messaged me. Duke was family for 15 years. He saw my kids through every milestone. He was there through my divorce, my mother's death, and countless family moments. My son cried when Duke died because he has a heart. You mocked him for it because you don't. Don't you dare invoke Duke's name to manipulate my family. You're nothing but a cruel, empty person who confused my son's kindness for weakness. Thank God he saw who you really are. She tagged Brittany. The post went semi-viral in our town. 500+ reactions, 200+ shares. People who knew Duke from the dog park, the vet's office, even the groomer, all defending not just me, but Duke's memory. Brittany's professional Instagram. She fancies herself an influencer with her 3K followers, started hemorrhaging followers. Her comment section's filled with dog emojis, and real women have empathy. Friday, Carol called again. Ryan, I'm kicking her out. I've seen the text, the letter, the Facebook posts. I can't have this energy in my home. That's her decision, Carol. She's 29 years old and acting like a sociopath. I found out she's been like this in past relationships too. Her ex, Nathan, reached out to me. Similar story. She mocked him when his grandmother died. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. I'm sorry you dealt with it for 2 years. Also, my neighbor has a golden retriever puppy. Would you like to meet him? Not to replace Duke, just maybe it would help. That's kind of you, Carol, but I need time. Understand. And Ryan? Brittany's father would be ashamed of her. He cried when our cat died 10 years ago. Real men do cry. Final update. It's been 3 weeks since Duke died, since I kicked Brittany out. She's apparently staying with Qley now, after Carol kicked her out. Applied for a job transfer to another state. Her reputation here is shot. The pharmaceutical sales world is smaller than you'd think, and word travels. Madison, who got suspended for that HR call. She told everyone what Brittany had asked her to do. I got Duke's ashes back yesterday. Little wooden box with his name engraved. I cried again, alone in my apartment, looking at photos of him through the years. From a tiny puppy in my teenage arms to a gray-faced old man last Christmas. My neighbor, Mrs. Chun, actually no relation to all the other Chins in these stories, knocked on my door. She's 80, knew Duke since I moved in 5 years ago. I heard what happened with Duke and that horrible girl. News travels. Good riddance to her. Duke was a gentleman. She wasn't worthy of his person. She'd brought cookies. We sat, and she told me about every dog she'd ever had, how she cried for each one. Anyone who doesn't understand that love isn't worth knowing, she said. The restraining order was approved last week. Brittany can't contact me, my family, or come within 500 feet of my home or workplace. She contested it, but the judge saw the texts, the letter, the harassment documentation. Ms. Harrison, the judge said, you mocked this man for grieving, attempted to damage his career, filed false police reports, and harassed his family. The order is granted. 1 year, no contact. She actually yelled, over a dog, in court. The judge, a woman in her 60s, looked at her over her glasses. Young lady, I've had dogs my whole life. Each death broke my heart. You're lucky this is only a restraining order. Last I heard, Brittany was telling people I'm dangerous and unstable. But those screenshots of her texts about Duke follow her everywhere online. Someone, not me, made them into a meme. Real men don't cry with her text, followed by pictures of soldiers with military dogs, first responders with canine units, and regular people with their pets, captioned real humans do. As for me, I'm okay. The apartment feels peaceful now. No one rolling their eyes at my emotions. No one mocking my attachments. I'm thinking about getting another dog eventually. Not to replace Duke. Nothing could, but because 15 years of loyalty and love deserves to be honored with more love, not locked away. My dad called last night. He's not much of a talker, but he said, "Your mom told me everything. Duke was a good boy, and you did right by him. Even after, crying for those we love isn't weakness. It's the price of love." That's it, really. Brittany thought tears were weakness, but they're not. They're just love with nowhere to go. Duke would have hated her anyway. Dogs always know. Rest easy, buddy. You were the best boy. Edit. For those asking, yes, everything was legal. She wasn't a tenant, just a guest. And before anyone says I should have just talked to her, you can't have rational conversations with people who fundamentally lack empathy. Sometimes the only response to cruelty is distance. Edit 2. The yoga mat was in the boxes. Carol confirmed it. Brittany just wanted one more reason to contact me. Edit 3. To everyone sharing their pet loss stories in the comments, thank you. Every single one is valid. Grief is love with nowhere to go, whether it's for a human or a faithful animal companion. Anyone who doesn't understand that isn't worth your time.